Progress.
Hi everyone, Monique here, Intuitive Soul Savant. Happy Lunar New Year. That's what we're talking about today. That happens on the 10th in Australia, and Eastern Standard Time is in the evening on the 9th of February. So the Chinese New Year coincides with the lunar calendar. Okay, so they don't recognize our New Year. Their new year is always the new moon in Aquarius. So that's great, isn't it? Now, just a little bit of information. In the Chinese calendar, it's 4,720 going into 4,721. So they have a totally different calendar. Now, something you may not know about myself is that I've been studying the zodiac, the Chinese zodiac, for nearly as long as I have been studying the tropical zodiac that we discuss here. So when I was started out, as I've told you guys before, no internet, learned to do astrology with all the books and the tables and the calculator. You really did need to have some maths under your belt, that's for sure. And the only information I could get was from news agents where they sold newspapers and magazines. And there wasn't much in the library. You could go to bookshops. There was always a few books, and I was always looking for more information. So I fell into so many new age, at the time they called it, studies. Why not? I was studying astrology. But the real gift in studying anything, especially astrology, numerology, is to allow the craft to teach you. So originally I read a couple of books. I got to understand the animals. I used my family and friends to study on because it's a year, you know, it's a whole year. The people I went to school with, if I reflected back on behaviors and attitudes and what have you, traits, animal traits, that's what taught me. So this is for all signs, this video. We're just going to have a brief look at the year this year, which is the year of the wood dragon. Okay, so just like astrology, we have the elements, and this year is the wood dragon. Next year is the wood snake. Okay, so that element won't come around for 60 years. So wood dragons would be turning 60 this year. Okay, 59, 60, around that 60 years. It takes 60 years to complete the Chinese zodiac. Okay, now here's a little bit of information. When I started studying, I would ask some very rare, back in the day, you know, Chinese, Asian people, some didn't even follow that, but the ones that did, you know, because here's another interesting fact. If you're born in January or February, you really need to go and look. It's not about the year. Okay, so I'm born in 66. If you look at the year, it's a fire horse. However, I'm the 17th of January. New Year that year was the 20th of January. So 3 days after I was born, the year changed. Okay, so you need to have a look if you're January, February. You need to have a look at the date that the new moon was in Aquarius that year. All right, now here's another interesting tidbit, and I'll get back. If you're born at the end of a sign, it's not a cusp, right? I'm 3 days before the fire horse. I'm a wood snake. It means I'm a strong wood snake. So the earlier of the sign is, it's not weakness of those energies. However, that you're learning through those energies. But at the end of the sign, that doesn't mean, oh, I'm on the cusp of fire horse, right? It means I'm fully wood snake. Now, here's another interesting tidbit. Because of the school system here in Australia, I went to school with all the fire horses. I think there was 3 of us. No, I was the only wood snake because I was January born, and the cutoff for that school was March, I think. Yeah, so we were the younger of the class, you could say. Yeah. the elder of the class, because we're at the beginning of the year. Yeah, so with the fire horse, something that really fascinated me, because until I found that information out about the cuspy bit, I thought I was fire horse, right, when I first started studying. And I was speaking with a Chinese man, and he said to me, oh, fire horse. In old time, they killed fire horse. And I was horrified. I didn't know what he meant. He went on to say that the Chinese, ancient Chinese, believed that the fire horse was a bad omen. And when a fire horse was born into a family, something bad happened, they believe. It was to the negative, because the Chinese astrology is all about luck, okay? So to them, the fire horse, oh, no, lucky year. And back then, they had the choice, I guess, and they still do. They don't allow, you know, they have a controlling system over how many children you can have and what have you. But back then, they would kill the fire horse children because they believed bad omen. So interestingly, next year is the year of the wood snake, and the year after that is the fire horse. And if you look at the astrology predictions for 2024, 25, 26, yeah, big shift changes. So it will be interesting to see what we create in 2026 when it's the fire horse year. All right, I don't believe that. I went to school with these people, and they're magical, right? That they are. I just had the word. They're aware, okay? They're aware, the fire horses, all right? They're open to magic. Let's say that. They're open to magic. What they believed was that if a fire horse was born, then somebody was going to die. So that's what, in the family, you know, or the house burnt down or something like that. But I mean, you know, I just think that they're magical, the fire horses. So we'll see what happens in 2026. Now, in the description box, if you're born year of the dragon, which is what it is this year, in the description box, I'll put those years in there. Now, if you want to know what you are, go onto Google. There's that many sites that'll tell you what animal you are, okay, and what element you are. It's important to know what element you are, because that changes. You know, there's 4 different elements, so that changes the energy of the animal, all right? So the dragon, the wood dragon, it is the only mythical animal in the Chinese zodiac, all right? And it's reptilian. So there's 2 reptilians. There's the dragon, and then there's the snake. Now, I don't mean reptilian in what people talk about on the internet. I mean sixth sense. I mean intuitive, snaky, reptilian, dragony sixth sense, you know, which can give them a bit of a magical essence to them. But the dragon itself, all the dragons I've met all my life, I really do honor, because they have a regalness about them. They have an air about them. They're very lucky. They're extremely lucky energy that they carry with them, the dragonborns, all right? They do well. I mean, you know, when I was younger and I would ask them questions and I would see dragons, you know, just kicking goal after goal after goal. Look, I'm not saying their life's perfect. You know, nobody's life's perfect. However, the doors seem to open for the dragons very easily. And I honoured that, because they really are gentle people and wise people. They're very wise, and they become successful, right? There's a good honourableness about the dragon. Now, excuse me, prosperity. This year's in a year 8. So I'm going to go through all the animals just very quickly, okay? Just some keywords for you. Hang in there for all of them, because the way you learn about this is you find out who your family and friends are, and then you observe. You find out some keywords about the animal, and you observe. And let the data teach you, okay? Show you that there is something to astrology and all of that sort of information out there. Let it teach you. Don't take it as gospel, okay? astrology taught me through the experiences of observation. All right. And that's why I stuck with it, because, wow, can't argue observation. All right. So that's the vibe of the year for all of us. All right. And it's great. In Australia, the interest rates are going to go back down again, magically, you know, and everybody, I hope, will, you know, take on 2024 with a positive attitude and a prosperous, abundant attitude, because that's what the year of the dragon is, right? Wood, earth, earthy, okay? Manifestation. All right, so take that on board. Now, there's some of the animals that are having a lucky year. Like every year, there's some of the animals that vibrate better with that energy and others that don't, okay? So there's two classes that the Chinese give to their, excuse me, their students each year, you know. So this year, in the year of the wood dragon, the luckiest animals will be the monkeys, the roosters, and the pigs. Monkeys, roosters, and pigs. Now, that doesn't mean it just lands in their lap. That means that they vibrate well with this year's energy, and so therefore they can move forward a little bit more in their life if they harmonize with the energy. All right. The second level of lucky, yes, because it's all about luck with Chinese, with the Chinese and the red, you know. The second level of luckiness is the ox, right? The rabbits, also known as cats. Rabbits, I also know as cats. There was the hippie 60s. There was a song in 1963, the year of the cat, right? So I learn it as a cat, but it is a rabbit, but it is a rabbit or a cat, okay? And the rabbit cats that I met and dated in my younger days, they are like cats. Oh, they're like cats. They're very much like cats. They're gentle. They're soft. They've got that Taurian, love of textures and yeah, sensuality. That's the word I'm looking for. So cats, rabbits, I find quite sensual. All right. The number 2 levels going lucky are goats and dogs. Okay, goats and dogs. So it doesn't mean the other animals are unlucky. It just means that the monkeys, the roosters, the pigs, and the oxes, the rabbit, cats, goats, and dogs, they vibrate better with the dragon, the wood dragon energy. All right. But we are all here in abundance. Okay. So let's go through the animals. And what this year, 2024, year of the wood dragon, what energies, flavors, because it's all about the energies. That's what we're learning, okay? So I might add a little bit about what I've learned of each animal as well over the years, all right? What I've observed in my family, friends, all the people that I've come across, because I call myself an intuitive soul savant because, you know, I have integrated all of this into my life. When I get in the car, I see number plates. I'm adding up numbers all the time. I'm knowing what years people have been born. I know what animal they are. Astrology, you know, it just is me now. It just is me. There's no other life. This is how I live my life. This is who I am, right? And it's very authentic in me now. It's taken a long time because this was all poo-pooed back in the day. Remember? And now the young people, yay, the millennials, they're all into it. And I love that because that will give them awareness, understanding, and compassion for others as well as themselves, and self-acceptance of yourself. Okay, we have light and we have shadow parts of ourselves, and we need to integrate and own both to be whole. All right, it's not good and bad, light and, you know, high frequency, lower frequency. We can all move between those two frequencies, no worries. All right, so let's start with our rat. Now, anyone who doesn't know the story, Buddha called the animals, right? And the 12 animals were out front. The first animal to get there was the rat. Now, the rat, very smart, the rats are. Oh, yes, all the rats I've met, very, very smart. But the shadow side, they can be very, very cunning. So the rat they communicate well. The rat talked the ox into allowing the rat on the back of the ox. And as soon as they got to the other side, so the Buddha called all the animals across the river, right? As soon as they got to the other side, the rat took off and came first, only through cunning and manipulation. So that's just a shadow side. However, they're very smart and they can make stuff happen just with their boldness, all right? With their boldness, they can make stuff happen, manifest stuff. So this year, in saying that, this is a great year for the rats to level up in their career. All right, career focus this year, and your social relationships. Well, those two go together. If you've got good energy with your social relationships, that definitely can help you level up the career ladder or move to a different career. Whatever it is, it's about leveling up with your career, focusing on that, and the social relationships that go with that, which will help you. All right. Next, we've got the ox. And that beautiful ox, they carried that rat on their back over to the Buddha, and they got tricked because they are beautiful hearts. The oxes, they move very slow. They can carry very heavy loads. Okay, they're hard workers. And this year, they're going to find that stability and financial success, that hard work, that persistence, tilling the ground. That's what oxes did. Tilled the ground, had to carry that thing, push it through the dirt, right? They can carry heavy loads and go all day doing it, all right? So this year, oxes, you know, you go for it. You go for it. Financial stability. There is harmony for that for you guys, okay? And of course, that may encourage you working hard. Well, you'll have the energy for it. All right. So the tiger, I have the tiger. So the tigers, in my observation, they get around quickly and they have lots of different friends. Okay, they have lots of friend groups. So they have the ability to be able to move through this life through their connections. All right. But they look after themselves, not in a selfish way, more like in an Aries way. Okay, like in an Aries self going there. I've got different people around that can help me and that I can connect with. So they're obviously very versatile, right? So you guys this year, the tigers, you need to take some downtime. Your year was a couple of years ago. You need to take some downtime. You need to take that downtime because there could be challenges come this year. And the only way you got to slow it down. Yes, you had your peak couple of years ago, year of the tiger, and we don't move at that pace all the time, tigers. We it's a rhythm. It's a rhythm. What goes up must come down, goes up again. So downtime. Otherwise you're going to face challenges. And if you face challenges, downtime, meditation, reflection. All right, that's what this year is for you guys. And here we are with our lovely rabbit cats. All right. Rabbit cats, I'm so happy to say that there's going to be positive changes for you in love. So you can curl up with a new love, your present love, but it's going to be great energy for love for you this year. And what comes with love, it's like a Venus-y energy. It's creativity, right? You may just love being creative this year. Okay, you may just get right into that and enjoy it. Right? Enjoy it. It's artistic expression. Go for it. Paint that picture. Do what you've wanted to do creatively. And being in love is a creative energy in itself. All right. So the energies this year for you guys, the rabbit cats, you can snuggle up with your lovers and dream, create. Okay. Create like the Pisces does. Yeah. All right. So dragons now. Year of the dragon. You're having a yearly return, okay? So it's always, a challenge. It's not bad challenging, it's change challenging. Every time you have your animal year, you can betcha in a few years down the track, you will have hindsight and you will, wow, there was some big changes happen. So expect a leveling up in your whole life, you could say, okay? And that may take a challenge to get there, but that's how we do get there. And the dragons that are 60s, you know, reflect back, 60-year-old dragons. You know, it's dragons, you know, are reflective. You've only got to look at our myths, all right? Yes, they got fire coming out of their mouth and all of that sort of stuff, but that's energy, all right? And yes, they are mythical in 3D and 4D, but I believe that many people out there, if you can believe it, then you can achieve it, you know. So a lot of people have, they really do identify with the mythical dragons, all right? I identify with the human dragons because, wow, they are lucky. And it's not cause for jealousy. It's almost with admiration. Not envy, not jealousy. You can look onto a dragon with admiration. And I love you guys, all right? I love you guys. So your yearly return, congratulations. Now, next we've got our snakes. Now, next year is snake year 2025. Wood snake year next year. So snakes, obviously you're in your 11th year of the cycle, or the 12th year of the cycle. You're in the 12th year of the cycle, and next year yours is the yearly return. So don't expect too much. This is a finishing up of a cycle, all right, ready for the new. You know, the opportunity is there for stability, snakes. And before our year next year, it's probably a good idea to relax into that stability and not get too restless. The stability will come with your relationship. So if you're still stable within your own life, then your relationships are obviously more stable. So it is a year of personal growth, right? So whether things go down this year that are going to be resolved next year, I can't tell you that. It's where you're at in life and how close you are to your authentic self and the reactions you still have on board to what's going on out there. All right. And snakes know what I mean there. Patience, snakes. You're going to need patience. Next year's your year. I'm telling you. So now you know. Patience. We can't have it this year, right? Maybe next year for sure. But patience is going to be required just to enjoy the stability. And I know for people with lots of Aquarian in their chart, we've got Pluto in Aquarian, and you know, it's restlessness and rebelliousness, Uranus. So you know, snakes can get a little bit like that. Just relax. Stability in yourself, in your relationships, and be patient and do a bit more personal work. Snakes are always doing personal work, all right? Horses, all right, horses. Now, this year's fun year for you. This is a good year. Get out there, be socially active. When you're socially, this is another one, when you're socially active, then your profession will grow. Maybe do some collaboration with some other people. Get out there. It's almost like you've got to have the two. You've got to be socially active, and then there'll be this professional growth that comes with that. Nothing's going to happen if you're isolating, sitting at home, horses. And beautiful horses that I went to school with, the only time they really want to sit at home is when they're healing their wounds, okay? If they're you know, healing their wounds. Okay, so get out there this year and enjoy horses. It'll be your time in a couple of years. Now, the goats, this is a spiritually orientated year for you this year, goats. And you might find some spiritual expansion in your life. And when we have spiritual expansion, that comes with compassion, understanding, and then we can bring balance to our relationships. Okay, so if we're bringing spiritual expansion to ourselves, then the balance will come in our relationships because we're caring for ourselves, goats. We're not over-serving others. We're spiritually looking after ourselves. And with that spirituality, that's compassion, gratitude, all those beautiful, soft energies. All right. So monkeys, you're up there, monkeys. You're at the top of the list, number one with the lucky year. Step up with confidence. Own it. Monkeys. And yes, monkeys. I'm going to finish and go through something with you that's quite funny. All right, so monkeys, step up with confidence. If there's challenges that come along, right, you've got the solutions. You know what to do. Step up. Number one, this energy is working for you. Don't be afraid, right? Don't play small. Step up there, okay, with your shoulders high, for sure. All right. Roosters, you're up there as well. You're doing well after the monkeys. You could see a career boost. Roosters would love that. Roosters like to be in a good career. You might be seen this year. So career boost, being seen, whether in any form whatsoever. Okay. So others are noticing you. All right. There's a career boost, but you'll need to keep your communication effective. All right. Now I find roosters are really good chatters. Slow down, okay, so you can communicate effectively. That's what I have for roosters this year. And now the dogs. I love dogs. We all love dogs, don't we? Well, the Chinese dogs, the Chinese zodiac dogs are just as beautiful as the dogs we have at home. Oh, gosh, they're gorgeous. They are just gorgeous-hearted humans, all right? You dogs, I love you, and I am so happy to say that if you're unhappy, there could be some significant changes coming in your family, all right, and your career. Now, you're going to have to be flexible, all right? When we're dealing with family, we're dealing with others. When we're dealing with our career, we're dealing with others, okay? But this year, there could be some big changes, you know, like pivotal changes, okay? Now, that doesn't mean freak out crisis, all right? That could be a great opportunity that comes to you, all right? Because you're up there with the lucky signs too. So use it, okay? But if it's challenging, you've got it. You've got this, all right? Now our lucky pigs, because it's a lucky year for pigs this year, and they get to look forward to some financial stability, right? Financial stability. Gotcha. You're getting your money sorted. Money could be coming to you, that sort of thing, inheritances, what have you. And in that comes joy. Joy in your personal life. So if you've got some good money coming in, wow, okay, you're going to feel good. You're going to go and enjoy it, right? Don't stress, enjoy it. Don't covet it, okay? Because that takes the joy out of it. If there's fear involved with money coming, that you're going to lose it, then, you know, that's the abundance glory gone. So enjoy yourself this year to all the pigs. All right. Now I'm just going to go through quickly, and you may have a giggle, and this is, I'm not picking at anybody. These are just the physical traits that I've studied in all the animals that have come across my path in my 40-odd years of observing the Chinese zodiac. All right. Okay. So the rat, I did tell you about the rat. Very cunning, okay? Very smart. But, and you need to be aware, because they are the car salesmen, all right? Now, they'll have a sneaker because they know what they're doing. They are consciously smart and looking after themselves to be first, all right? Now, their bodies, now with the animals, your astrology sign can change everything. There's information out there. I had a book a long time ago before the Christians burnt them. That probably wasn't the first time in my whole soul's life that my books got burnt, my astrology books, you know. Anyway, there's a book out there that matches all the star signs, the 12 zodiac signs, with the 12 animals. Wow. If you and it may even be in Google now, but I'm going back 40 years. I had that book and then I got burnt. But that's interesting. All right. So rats can look like rats. Okay, I'm not saying they're little, because I've known tall rats as well. But once you start to understand the rat, you'll see it in their eyes. Okay, you'll see it in their eyes. You'll see it ticking over. You'll know when you meet rats, go, I'm dealing with a smart person here. I've got to keep myself together here. And I'm not saying they're con people, but they can be. They can be. Oh, rats, I love you. Okay, now the oxes, I did speak about the oxes. They are gentle. They are slow. They take their time. Now, body-wise, they can have big butts. You know, there's that, they like big butts. So that's the ox, okay? I've got friends who are oxes, and I'm sorry. You know, they're not skinny. they're not skinny. My son's an ox. He is slight, but he's a Capricorn, so he's got that slightness, right? So yeah, oxes, you know, just look at the bills. All right, we're not judging here, we're just we're observing. Okay, so the tigers, now they'll get that. Look, the tigers, they move fast. They actually do move fast. And if you have tiger people in your life, they're always doing something. They've always been somewhere. All right, and their bodies, the tigers that I've sort of known, they can be any different shape. All right, but you'll know them by, you'll know the tigers by how many different groups. They're not co-y on one particular group generally. Do you know what I mean? Unless they've had, you know, that codependence as a you know, a childhood programming thing. Yeah, so that's your tigers. All right, your rabbit cats, I did explain them. They so remind me of the Tauruses. You know, they like laying around, reading books. They're not fast movers, the cats, okay? Rabbits, even though rabbits can get away, you know, they like getting around, eating the grass, just grazing, taking it easy, all right? The trait I find about the cats is they're very cuddly, okay? They're very cuddly. They like cuddling. They like touching. They're also sensual, the rabbit cat. Okay, the dragons. Wow, I mean, I rave on about the dragons. When I went to acting school for 3 years, there was one girl I went through acting school with, and she was a dragon, a Leo dragon. And oh my God, she was like a gazelle. And, you know, she did really well too. She was on our soapies, and now she's an artist and blah, blah, blah. I won't mention her name, but God, she was gorgeous, and she was a dragon. And there was no ego there with the dragon. You know, there was just no ego about it. And that's what makes dragons special, is that yes, they're lucky and they have abundance come to them, but there's no ego about it. Look at me, okay? That's what's beautiful about those lovely dragons. They stand there, they breathe on fire, baby. They own it. They own it. All right. Now, snakes. What I've noticed about the male snakes is a lot of bald heads, you know, and round, you know, bronzed sort of faces. And if you observe the snake's body and the way that they move, you can see the snake. All right. Now the horses, can have the big chests like a centaur can. All right, and big shoulders like a horse, and very athletic. The horses can be very athletic. Think of a horse. Think of a horse and how strong they can be. All right. So look at your horses and musclies. It's good if they work out, the horses. Now the goats. I haven't had that many goats, but I'm a Capricorn goat. Okay, so oh yeah, my boss is a goat. Oh yeah, one of the girls I know is a goat. Well, they're goers. You got to catch up with them. They're off up the mountain. All right, and look at their feet. Look at the goat's feet. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, just look at the goat's feet. They'll probably have some knobs that aren't on everybody's feet, bones. Okay. All right, now monkeys. Okay, my dad's a monkey. I've had good monkey friends, and they're like monkeys, okay? And they play like monkeys, and they're ooh, 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 like that. And and they're like big kids, you know, and they're monkey around, all right? So you can tell a monkey they're good to have fun with, all right? Your roosters, busy as. Little roosters run around really fast too, and they're good delegators. They're always delegating and getting all the chickens and the hens in a line, all right? And that is the energy that I've noticed with the roosters. And you know, short, tall, what have you, that they look like they're moving really fast. So that's the energy that you get from them, okay? All right, and your dogs, gentle. You know, you can recognize your dog by that gentleness. It's like that energy of the number 2, you know, that I'm here for you sort of an energy, okay? And they bounce around too. They like, they're childlike, like the Leo inner childlike, they're like that, yeah. And it'd be bouncy, you know. Just go and look at your people, okay? And once you learn how they all come, like, you know, the first animal, the rat, the last animal, the pig, then you find out what year you are, and then you just add 12 years or minus 12 years. That's what I would do. So I could do it on the spot and work out what animal. Then I could observe. So the pig, oh, I have a family member who's a pig. She married a pig, and they had pig friends. And what I noticed was they walked like pigs. And there's nothing wrong with pigs, but to look at their glutes and their bums, I'm talking about butts again, aren't I? But we do take on physical characteristics. Not all of us, but just observe. You'll see it, and you're going to giggle. Yeah. So their bottom, actually, if you took out all of the rest of them, they actually moved with their backside like pigs. It's cute. Okay, it's cute, but it's an observation. All right. So that's what all of this is all about, is observation. I've been observing for a long time. And then once you get to know more about the animals, then you have, forewarned is forearmed. Same as astrology. I'm not going to go up to a Leo and start belting him over the head with my opinions of him. You just learn to be subtle, sort of thing. You've got to learn this. We're not judging people. We're just gaining wisdom. Okay, gaining wisdom. And I think the dragon has wisdom, and the snake. The snake is known for the wisdom, but I think the dragon, that mythical, beautiful reptilian, breathing fire, creativity, manifestation. That fire is creativity. And what is creativity? It manifests in the physical. All right. So that's why it's a powerful year. It's a prosperous year. It's a good fortune year. It's an honor year. It's a success year. This is the best year for Chinese. They love this year. So you love this year. Tune into the energy, and I so encourage you to learn more about your people, for understanding, for compassion, for whatever reason. But it's just interesting to study something and then actually see it play out in our relationships and the people that are close to us. So that's it. I think that's it. Yep, that's all that's on my board. So happy Lunar New Year to you, Wood Dragon. May it be prosperous, abundant, and everything you want. All right? It's all up here. We're happy because we're happy. All right. Love you all. And I will see you very shortly. There is no doubt.